Now, how it all has started. The idea of using machines for rehabilitation dates back much earlier. In a 1910 patent, Theodore Boddingen proposed a movement cure apparatus, a machine driven by an electric motor to guide and support. Excuse me. Hello? हाँ भैया आ रहा हूँ. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Apurva, be online. I'm coming back. Just go through the slide.
Okay.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm back.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we were discussing about the history. See, it's the robotics getting into the rehabilitation is not a new thing. Since 1910, movement cure apparatus has been used, a machine driven by an electric motor for guide and support stepping movements in patients with heart disease. In the 1930s, Richard Scrap developed the Meridian, a cable-driven apparatus to move joints for orthopedic therapy. The human-powered mechanotherapy machine already supported multiple interaction modes ranging from passive to active-assisted and active-resisted movements. So slowly, first it came for stepping movements for heart disease patients. Later, Meridian, another modality. This is a mechanotherapy machine. It started giving passive movements, active assisted movements, and even active resisted movements depending upon the stage of recovery of the patient. A first robotic rehabilitation system was based on the concept of continuous passive movement. CPM machine you might have seen. That is the first robotic machine, a stiff interaction mode in which the robot moves the joints along a predefined trajectory independent of the contribution of the patient. So in the exercise therapy lab or orthopedic rehabilitation lab, you all will be seeing continuous passive movement machine. It is also a robot, but the only thing is it moves the limb in only in one trajectory. Rehabilitation robots for the treatment of sensory motor deficits. The patients, when they get a neurological insult, there will be sensory motor dysfunction. So in that, how the rehabilitation robots are functioning? Recovery of sensory motor function after CNS damage, that is central nervous system damage, which can be brain or spinal cord, is based on the exploitation of neuroplasticity with a focus on the rehabilitation of movements needed for self-independence. We all have studied in your neuro what is neuroplasticity. Okay, so improving neuroplasticity is very important. The faster the neuroplasticity occurs, the faster the recovery occurs in neurologically dysfunction patients, and then can make them self-independent. This requires a physiological limb muscle activation, very important. Requires physiological limb muscle activation that can be achieved through functional arm, hand, and leg movement exercises. See, when a patient is admitted into a neurological ward or a neurological ICU, a physiotherapist will go and give passive movements, maybe maximum 10 movements per joint, and he will advise the attender to continue the movement every hourly, which doesn't happen all the time because the guardian also get tired. So these physiological muscle activation is very important for recovery. So until unless you are moving the joints regularly, the neuroplasticity doesn't get activated. So this is the concept given by Roger Gasset in 2018. Now, advancing robotic technology presents an opportunity for physiotherapists in rehabilitation. First, we will talk about lower extremity rehabilitation. Lower extremity rehabilitation, especially for gait recovery after neurological injury, can require significant time and physical effort on the part of physiotherapists. See, suppose a 90, 80 kg weight patient is there who got spinal cord injury. So to make him stand and make him walk on the with the help of walking aid is very strainful to the physiotherapist. So what physiotherapist can do? You can only make him move for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. That's where the failure usually occurs. So if you have some exoskeleton that can take over the weight of the patient, and the physiotherapist physiotherapist attends to the movements, then it will be very easy for the therapist, and length of time of treatment also will get increased. So lower extremity rehab, especially when we are doing lower extremity rehabilitation for gait recovery after a neurological injury, so these robots will help a lot. Robotic assisted gait, RAG. I'm sorry, there was a spelling mistake in the assisted. Robotic devices designed for lower extremity rehabilitation. It's a powered orthosis with computer controlled motors to support joint movement. In addition to increasing repetition of specific movements, that is gait cycle, heel strike, foot flat, heel off, toe off, and then the swing phase. Some other ways in which robotics may be, see, what the robot exactly does is, it mimics the original gait. All the movements, including heel, swing phase and stance phase, all the components, it mimics. It helps the patient to do all these movements in a sequence. These are called as gait cycles. But apart from the gait cycles, what other benefits? Some other benefits are also there because of robotic assisted walking. They are monitoring and controlling movement quality. See, it will monitor and control the movement quality, the speed of the movement, the direction of the movement, amplitude and sequencing, very important. Suppose patient had a foot drop, and then the sequence will be lost if we are doing if we make treadmill assisted walking is also there, but in that what the problem is, speed you can control, direction you can control, amplitude and sequencing cannot be controlled in treadmill walking. So here robotic walking will fulfill that gap by amplitude and sequencing the proper movement, and it also provides sensory feedback during the movement. This was the study done by Maltene F. et al. In 2008, and they reported that apart from gait cycles, robotics will also help in monitoring and controlling movement quality. The lower limb treadmill training trademark Locomat. That machine name is called Locomat. It is a robotic treadmill training system that uses a body weight support system to suspend individuals while their legs are attached to robotic legs that assist with basic walking function. So this Locomat is a robotic treadmill training system. It uses its own body weight, patient body weight, supported by suspensions, and then robot legs will assist the basic walking function. The Locomat system allows the therapist to control how fast the patient can walk, how much body weight the patient is able to support, and how much assistance the robotic legs give the patient through the range of motion. See, it will control the speed. It will also tell you how much weight the patient should put on the on his lower limbs, partial weight bearing, full weight bearing, non-weight bearing, and then the range of motion, the phases, different phases of gait cycle can be achieved by Locomat. The Locomat focus was to bring more motivation and engagement in the lower extremities training sessions, looking to the patient interaction as a priority and bringing them to reality the teamwork between the device and physiotherapist. See, when a patient walks on the Locomat, he feels that he is really walking. So it gives motivation to the patient, and various psychological complications after insult to the spinal cord injury or by cerebrovascular accidents, the insult that has occurred to the brain and spinal cord, psychological complications are present like depression, okay, unilateral neglect. These type of things will not come into the, and these are great barriers for rehabilitation. If a patient goes into unilateral neglect or into the depression, it is very hard for the physiotherapist to bring him back into the rehabilitation. These are the burdens or the hurdles we get in the during the rehabilitation. So this Locomat will look into see that the patient interaction, patient's interaction as a priority, and bringing the reality, the teamwork between the device and physiotherapist, and it motivates the patient a lot. Studies show that locomotion therapy supported by robotic assisted device on a treadmill is an effective intervention for improving over ground walking function caused by neurological diseases and injuries. The customized support and limb guidance provided by the Locomat allows patients who have a wide variety of walking impairments to use this device both in inpatient and outpatient settings. It is used to improve mobility in individuals following stroke, spinal cord injury, traumatic brain injury, TBI, head injuries, multiple sclerosis patients, cerebral palsy, and other neurological diseases and injuries. So whatever the neurological condition, where our aim is to improve mobility in the patient. In such cases, you can assure the patient about mobility by giving robotic assisted gait training. Robotic assisted gait training, a study by Ki Yun Nam et al. 2017. Robotic assisted gait training improves mobility related outcomes to a greater degree than conventional gait training for patients with incomplete spinal cord injuries, particularly during the acute stage. So, when acute stage, when in a spinal cord injury patients, if you start giving robotic assisted gait training, the patient's recovery is better and faster when compared to the conventional gait training. Robotic assisted gait training treatment is a promising technique to restore functional walking and improve locomotor ability, which might enable spinal cord injury patients to maintain a healthy lifestyle and increase their level of physical activity. So, the robotic assisted gait training treatment will help to restore the functional walking, and it improves the confidence of the patient about his or her locomotor ability, especially in spinal cord case injury patients, and they maintain a healthy lifestyle because they get motivated and they are able to walk, and their levels of physical activity are also increased. Robotic guidance could generate sensory feedback that promotes active participation, leading to increased gait variability and sensory brain activity. Dr. Apurva, could you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. On the other hand, changes in brain activity and biomechanical gait characteristics may also be due to sensory feedback of the robot, which disrupts the cortical network of automated walking in healthy individuals. More comprehensive neurophysiological studies, both in laboratory and clinical settings, are necessary to investigate the entire brain network associated with robotic assisted walking. See, we have seen the advantages, but a study by Eliza Berger et al. She says that changes in brain activity and biomechanical gait characteristics may also be due to sensory feedback of the robot, which disrupts the cortical network of automated walking. So the automated walking can be disturbed. That means the natural walking can be disturbed by this type of robotic assisted walking. So more and more amount of laboratory and clinical setting researches should be done on this robotic assisted walking. In a systematic review by Federicia in 2021, latest one, overall, most studies have shown beneficial effects of Locomat on balance. That means it also helps in balance training, balance recovery for stroke survivors, at least compared to conventional physical therapy. However, due to limited number of studies and their high heterogeneity, further research is needed to draw more solid and definitive conclusions. See, till now we have seen that robotic assisted walking will help in speed, direction, and sequencing and gait patterns. Apart from this, robotic assisted walking also helps in improving the balance and balance recovery for the stroke survivors. When compared now, there are certain comparative studies. Very few studies have been occurred. So, who will be more benefited, males or females? So, a study by Giovanni Moren et al. In 2014, they declared that when compared among males and females, it was found beneficial for females more than males. And also, when we take a factor, patients of age more than 65 were found more beneficial. In the same study by Giovanni et al. In 2014, they have compared the age and gender. So when it comes to the gender, they when comes to the gender, they found that females are more beneficial than males, and when compared to the age, youngsters may not be much benefited, but old people above 65, it was found beneficial. Energy consumption compared to passive and hybrid orthosis. See, there are various other orthoses also available. No, hybrid orthosis or passive orthosis. When compared to that, the robotic exoskeleton marks a step forward in the development of an energetically efficient orthotic device. As despite the presence of many limitations, it also allows a faster locomotion with acceptable energy cost. So the amount of energy spent by the patient when compared to passive and hybrid orthosis, it is less. That means the patient did not spend much energy. The improvement of both speed and energy demand during robotic assisted gait training encourages the adoption of the orthosis in daily life activities. Along with its limited encumbrance, it may finally reverse the high withdrawal rate of orthosis used in domestic settings. A study by A.E. Wall and J.M. Helder in 2004, it is evident that significant differences in muscle firing patterns in certain parts of the gait cycle occur between treadmill and locomotive walking. Because the robotic orthosis limits the degrees of freedom of the leg and pelvis, it will lead to changes in the natural gait pattern. Although the robotic orthosis does not exactly mimic the gait patterns of natural ambulation, it offers numerous benefits in gait rehabilitation. Now I will show the video how this robotic gait training occurs. Please see. First, I need to share the screen. Now, this video will help you to understand how exactly robotic walking occurs. This is a case study. Pocoma is the product Locomat producer. State Hospital Hosiery, it's a case study actually. Locomat therapy. So this is how it occurs. These are the harness and these are the robotic legs. So this is the biofeedback. They use biofeedback along with the robotic walking. In Locomat, that is the best thing. See, we have this Locomat in our own hospital. I could have recorded in our hospital only, but due to COVID-19, the robotics department in our hospital is not under use. Otherwise, I would have taken video in our own hospital. We have all the robotics, robotic ergo tilt table. We have robotic Locomat in the hospital. Next time, if I get any chance, I will let you, show you the video of our own institute. Okay, we were discussing the robotics. Continue with the slide share. So yes, now in a study by A.E. Wall and J.M. Hilder in 2004, it is evident that significant differences in muscle firing patterns in certain parts of the gait cycle between treadmill and locomotive walking. Because the robotic orthosis limits the degrees of freedom of the leg and pelvis, it will lead to changes in a natural gait pattern. Although the robotic orthosis does not exactly mimic the gait patterns of natural ambulation, it offers numerous benefits in gait rehabilitation. Uses where we are going to use this Locomat. It is used in spinal cord injuries, stroke patients, cerebral palsy kids, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, traumatic brain injury. Long-term use of lower extremity robotics can lead to what are the physiological changes that occurs when you use Locomat for a long-term purpose. It will be increasing the strength in the lower extremity because you are continuously exercising by the robotic walking. So it will improve the strength in the lower extremity and it improves the posture. And because weight bearing occurs here, it increases the bone density. Because you are exercising regularly, bowel movements will be increased and it will help in preventing the constipation in stroke and spinal cord injury patients. Improved sleep because patient get some exercise every day. Definitely after an exercise, the body feels to take rest. So improved sleep patterns have been observed. Decreased pain, decreased cholesterol levels because patient is exercising, decreased spasticity because we are moving the limbs in a pattern wise which causes increase in the neuroplasticity, decrease in the rate of cardiovascular diseases and decreased rate of diabetes. The new Locomat Pro Sensation provides new therapy options such as intelligent algorithms which create maximum challenge and allow patients to feel their performance. See, as I told you, the Locomat robotic device it itself has an inbuilt biofeedback system. So there will be hurdles coming in the in the on the screen in front of the patient and the patient has to react accordingly to the hurdles or the turns everything. So this is Locomat Pro Sensation and music is synchronized or synchronized by the therapy and boosts motivation and engagement. So the faster the music, the faster the patient will be walking. The slower the music, the slower the patient will be walking. Like this, individualized therapy sessions occurs. Personalized training to see results and progression in various exercises. Next one is ergo tilt table. Next type of lower limb orthotic support is, robot is called ergotable. We have done so much researches on ergotable in our college, and we have published articles. Me, Dr. Suraj, and Dr. Ramakant Yadav, our vice chancellor, we have done a lot of work on this ergo table. Now I will show you first what is ergo table, and then you can we can go to the slides. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is a tilt table, motorized tilt table, in which FES, functional electrical stimulation, will be given. So these are the electrodes for functional electrical stimulation. The simple tilt table, the whole table is tilted. You can adjust the height, and you can also adjust the electronic leg length. Then how much intensity you want to increase, that many milliamperes, depending upon how much current is required to stimulate the muscles. Degrees of flexion you require according to the gait requirements. How much degrees of flexion extension you require, you will be designing on the thing. Then slowly verticalization will occur. The patient will start working muscle activation. Slowly verticalization will occur. First activation will occur, and then slowly the patient is bringing to the erect position. And you get continuous feedback about the foot loading, how the foot loading is occurring, the weight bearing on the foot. This is the final position, and this position will not come immediately. It will occur slowly and gradually. So ergo tilt table or ergo functional electrical stimulation is fully synchronized with robotic leg movements. Thus, the cyclic functional electrical stimulation to the leg muscles can effectively induce venous return, thereby helping to improve cerebral blood flow and to maintain the blood pressure of individuals with spinal cord injury under orthostatic stress. The electromechanical or robotic devices that ensure automation of lower limb movements, lower limb pumping movements, okay, automation movements during locomotion were developed to help the physiotherapists by increasing the safety, intensity, and standardization of non-robotic body weight supported treadmill training. It generates complex multi-sensory stimulation, offer extensive extrinsic biofeedback to the patient, and reduces the working costs. The robotic ergo tilt table consists of a stretcher that can be tilted between 0 to 80 degrees and foot plates with integrated springs for leg loading. Foot plates do step like movements, which you have seen in the video that I have shown you. Training on the ergo combines mobilization out of the bed, body verticalization, and rhythmic leg movement. See, three things occurs here: ergo, mobilization, body verticalization. ये पार्सल कोड rhythmic leg movement with cyclic loading, thus contributing to the prophylaxis of secondary complications. So it will prevent the secondary complication, as I told, unilateral neglect, atrophy of muscles, back sores. All these are secondary complications that can prophylaxis. What is prophylaxis? Prevention. Okay, mean prevention before occurring, taking care before a chance of occurring. Prophylaxis of secondary complications caused by a prolonged period of immobility. The benefits offered by the ergo compared to mobilization using a conventional tilt table are as follows. See, conventional tilt you have in your department for especially for postal drainage, we use tilt table. Okay, postal drainage tilt table. And what is the difference between a postal drainage tilt table and what is the ergo? Major difference. Passive movement of legs combined with verticalization of the patient. This is possible only with ergo. On conventional tilt table, it is not possible. A load is alternatively applied and removed from the patient legs, which can be occurred only in ergo but cannot be occurred in tilt table. Alternative leg loading, it's not possible on the normal tilt table, but it is only possible in the ergo tilt table. The leg movement can be adapted separately for the patient right and left leg according to his needs. The most important advantage of using robot technology in rehabilitation is to deliver high dosage and high intensity training. See, if you normally train the patient for 45 minutes, he get fatigued. But with robotic tilt table training or robotic locomat, patient can work up to 45 minutes very easily, and he is also able to do some other exercises and activities. So that is about the robotics in rehabilitation. It is not complete. This is only for robotics in lower limb. What do you call lower limb rehabilitation? In the next topic, we will see robotics in the upper limb rehabilitation. So any doubts you have, Dr. Hina, Dr. Apurva?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts?
No, sir. No, sir.
So I think it is clear with the video you might have seen. Video
Yes,
made
sir.
you much clearer, I think. Okay. Dr. Hina, any doubts? Okay, then we will meet next Monday. I will not be taking the class. Okay, we will meet again on the, I don't know what time it will be given to me, but next week there will be a class, but not on Monday. Okay, see you all. Bye.